Look at that tiny red dot in the night sky. For decades, we have called it the new frontier, a second chance for humanity, a beacon of hope. But Mars is not a home. It is a vast, frozen graveyard of failed dreams and broken machines. A cold, silent world that has been waiting for us in the lethal darkness of space for billions of years. Imagine stepping out of your airlock for the very first time. You expect a moment of triumph, but the first thing you feel is a smell, a metallic, acrid scent of dust, saturated with toxic perchlorates. This is not the soil of Earth. It is a chemical poison. One single breath of this air will begin to dissolve your lungs from the inside out, burning through your throat like acid. There is no life-giving breeze here. What we call the Martian atmosphere is nothing but a thin, suffocating veil of carbon dioxide. It offers no shield, no protection. The sun's radiation pierces through the sky like invisible needles, unraveling your DNA before you can even cry for help. Your body on Mars is nothing more than a fragile vessel that the planet tries to shatter every single second. Without a pressurized suit, your blood would boil in an instant. Your eyes would swell and your life would end in a silent scream. But even inside the most advanced armor, you are still a prisoner. You are trapped in a world where the ground beneath your feet is radioactive and the sky above is a void. This planet has already devoured half of the machines we sent to greet it, burying their steel remains under mountains of crimson sand. Mars is not a sanctuary. It is a museum of our extinct ambitions. Today, we look into the face of the red monster. We look past the postcards and the propaganda, and you will finally understand why the first humans to land here will likely be the last ones to ever see the Earth again. Welcome to the end of the world. Welcome to Mars. Even if you survive the toxic dust, the very air around you is a silent executioner. Mars has no global magnetic field, no shield to deflect the solar wind. Think about that. On Earth, we are protected by an invisible magnetic bubble. On Mars, you are standing in a wide-open cosmic firing range. High-energy radiation screams through the thin atmosphere at millions of miles per hour. It doesn't just hit you. It slices through your habitat, through your suit, and deep into your DNA. Radiation here isn't just a risk. It is a constant, invisible rain. It slowly unravels the very blueprint of your life. Imagine your brain fogging, your organs failing, and your cells struggling to repair themselves every single second. The dream of colonization quickly becomes a nightmare of biological decay. But here is the terrifying part. Radiation is only half the battle. When the sun sets, Mars reveals its true, frozen face. Temperatures drop to minus 100 degrees. Near the poles, it is so cold that the very air you breathe turns into solid, dry ice. In this extreme environment, common materials behave like glass. Rubber seals crack, steel snaps under the slightest pressure. Close your eyes and imagine your life support system feeling in the dead of the Martian night. The heat vanishes in seconds. The silence is absolute. You are not just on another planet. You are trapped in a world that was never meant to sustain a single heartbeat. A world where the laws of physics are actively trying to erase your existence. To stay on the surface is to wait for a death sentence. To survive, we have to hide. We must go where the radiation cannot reach us. We must go down. Leaving the surface is not an escape. It is a descent into a tomb that breathes. Here, the sun is no longer a star. It is only a fading myth, a story told to children who will never see the sky. You are stepping into the ancient lava tubes, humanity's last sanctuary, or perhaps our final prison. Listen, can you hear it? The silence here is a lie. The low, rhythmic hum of the oxygen scrubbers is the only heartbeat this dead planet has left. Every breath you take has been exhaled by 1,000 lungs before you. Every drop of water has passed through endless filters, recycled over and over until it tastes of metal and despair. There is no wind here, only the ghost-like breeze of the ventilation shafts, a mechanical breath haunting the cold stone corridors. Life under the Martian crust is measured in watts, lumens, and fear. Look at the shadows. Notice the violet glow of the hydroponic gardens. This is where we grow our survival. Thin, pale stalks reaching for flickering LEDs. Plants that will never know the warmth of a real summer. Even 500 meters below the frozen dust, the pressure of the world above is constant. You can feel it in your bones, a crushing weight that never sleeps. You realize with a shudder that if the machines ever stop, the silence will become permanent. Instantly, we are the architects of our own evolution, with the grave diggers of our species. In the dark, your eyes change, your mind begins to unravel. You start to hear things, whispers in the rock, the mountain itself, breathing in sync with your terrified heart. We survived the radiation. We survived the lethal frost. But now, we must face the most dangerous predator of all, the darkness that lives within ourselves. We are no longer the people who looked at the red dot in the sky with wonder. We are the red dot. We have become the silence, the stone, and the cold light. The history of Earth is a closed book, kept in digital vaults, the ghost of a world that didn't know how to survive itself. Here in the dark, we have learned the true price of existence. It is not paid in gold, but in every recycled breath, in every flicker of a lamp, in the strength to wake up when there is no morning. Perhaps centuries from now, our descendants will crawl back to the surface. Their skin will be pale, their eyes wide, and they will look at the stars not as distant lights, but as goals. They will remember that we didn't just survive in the caves. We waited. We kept the flame of humanity alive when the universe tried to blow it out. The red planet is no longer our enemy. It is our home, our fortress, and our mirror. For in the absolute darkness of Mars, we finally saw who we really are. This is not the end. It is only the first chapter, written in the dust.